Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the SLOTRO edition of the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarl'rynae. Say hello to everyone, Gnarl'rynae. Good girl. When last we left off, I had a raging cold. My God, I went back to listen to the recording to see to refresh my memory of where I needed to be and what I was doing, and I can't believe I recorded like that. I do apologize for the quality of my voice and all. I can't believe I recorded with it like that. It was pretty intense, but we're well now. We are almost recovered from the great G flood of 2017. I've gotten all the carpet and padding and all pulled up out of my den here after the flood, and it's all chucked around outside. I've even turned off the dehumidifier for a while. And we are going to continue along with our quest here. Y'all may hear a little noise in the background. We do have a bit of a thunder shower going on here, which we do not have any problem with that. We happy to have the rain. Very happy to have the rain. I'm always so glad to see it coming down, and the fact that Georgia here is in a slight drought condition once again. Not as bad as we were a few years ago. Good coffee. Not as bad as we were a few years ago, but a bit of a drought condition, so we're always happy to add a little water. Let's talk to Gator here. We got the flow to Noglond. And that was the one where we were patching holes in the canal to see if the flow of water returned to normal. We will continue. Let's see. I've got some complaints from Noglond down in the Vale of Thrain to the south that the canal hasn't been flowing the way it should. Hopefully that repair you made to the leak has solved the problem as well. Could you go down to Noglond and talk to Gator about the problem? He can tell you if the canal is back to normal. Just follow the road south as it curves through the Vale of Thrain, and you will eventually come to Noglond. With the dour hands stirring up trouble, we are short on work hands. Okay. Even with my voice back to normal, may have to practice a little while before we're back to being able to talk like a dwarf. Has the water flow been restored? I should say not. It's just a trickle, really, when it should be a torrent. Let's see, choose one. Shiny copper earring. Oh, we've already got one of those, don't we? And a bright copper earring. +2 might. So we got fate, might, vitality. All worth 30 copper. Tell you what, I'm going to grab the bright copper so we got a...
Will you hear my troubled tale?
A selection to choose from. The other thing I'm going to do, and I meant to do this right before I handed that one in, but now is as good a time as any. Is that the mark of the novice? Yes. We are going to trade that out. We're going to turn experience back on. We've got a few level 7 quests here that we are going to do, because as I pull it up here, see, we got a couple of level 7s, and then everything else is 9, 11s, and 12. So we're going to at least get leveling back up to level 10 again, and maybe on up to level 11. Let's see how it goes. Quenching a thirst. The water has not been flowing down to Noglond for several days. I sent a message back to the halls, but I've not received a reply from the builders. I'm not about to send one of my boys down to do a builder's work, and I can't have them traipsing to the river every time we need water. Would you look into it? The canal runs all the way down the mountain from Thorin's halls and to Gondamon below. The problem must be upriver from here. The above-ground part of the canal, the place that may be blocked, is south and west of here. Just take the road south to the bridge and look underneath it. Follow the canal all the way up to the big gate if you have to. Just find the problem. So we have discovered the source of the canal's water flow problems. Easy enough. Let us continue on down here. Looks like everybody's having water problems. But as I was saying, we got most everything dried out now. Just doing basic repair work, pulling the wooden strips that, the carpet was nailed to off of the floor, and a bunch of sweeping and vacuuming. I'm basically walking around on bare concrete floor right now. I was extremely lucky in that it happened in the downstairs bathroom. I live in a split level. There are thickets clogging the canal. All right, let's see if we can remove some of them. I live in a split level in the lower level here. Uh-oh. Mature thick jaw. A great thicket obstructing the water flow. So is that thick jaw going to give us a problem? Thickets cleared away, 1 of 8. Why don't we get up stacks here, just in case? There we go. Yeah, why don't you go on downstream? Leave us alone while we clear these thickets away. But the downstairs here is built on a concrete slab. If it had happened upstairs, or if it happened at my wife's house, where we're elevated and she has a crawl space underneath the entire house, I would have definitely had to get a professional crew in here. They would have had to suck up the water, do damage control to make sure that the joists and the floorboards and everything weren't destroyed. You know, I imagine it would have been quite expensive, quite a bit of work to do. Not to mention just having people in my house. All right, thickets are all moved away. May not look like it, but they're all cleared away. So we are going to head on up the hill and talk to Gator once more. Stacks, you did a great job. Let's dismiss you for now. But as it is, I was able to just clear it all away myself, get all the water pumped out, get the dehumidifiers going to dry out, make sure there was no damage to anything in the room. The walls are stayed nice and safe, so all in all, it could have been much, much worse.
It is hopeless.
Done already? Good work. We could use someone like you on the guard. Better than these layabouts. Can I interest you in signing up? Oh, the pay's not that good, and you'll find yourself in some cold, out-of-the-way posts like this, but it's a living. No? I thought not. Ah, well, thanks for your work anyway. Now, let's see what we're going to get. A slim copper armband for might, and a thin one for vitality. There we go. Let's get some more vitality.
Might you lend an ear to a dwarf in need?
You have acquired your first commendations. Commendations can be spent to advance your monster player and unlock new skill traits and characterizations. Alrighty. That's interesting. And we've reached level 10. Bing. May use the instance finder now. We've seen that. Let's see, we can go into monster play now. Item wear on defeat. So now when we're defeated, we'll start taking damage. Let's hope that won't happen for at least 10 more levels. On to Gondamon. This canal water is used down in Gondamon in the lowlands as well as here in the Vale of Thrain. You should go down there and make sure they know we removed the blockage up here. Travel down the road to the east, then turn south at the first crossing, and Gondamon will be right there. You will want to talk to old Otkel. Their cisterns must be nearly dry down there, what with the blockage as bad as it was. Excuse me. All right, we can do that. Told you that's rough on the throat. Should be nighttime now. Let's turn our lamp on. There we go. Okay, we've got one more quest that we're going to do while we're up in this part. And that is defeat the Hindraval in the Vale of Thrain. So we are going to be traveling up and down here. You remember the Hindraval, those hawk-like creatures. We killed a good number of them up there where we were. There's one right there, in fact. A Vale Hindraval. It's a good thing I dismissed Stacks. I'd had to be bringing him back up anyway. There we go. That didn't take much. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kill about 12 of these. And we will rejoin you after we have taken care of that. And we're ready to come back down here and turn in that quest. So we will see you again in just a little bit here. Just a quick note here. You'll notice that I'm standing in front of a rather large gate, dwarven gate with dwarven workforce on it, stonework on either side. You'll see where we are, right here where it says to Sarner. I would imagine this gate must lead, I don't know, it says to Sarner, but I would imagine it might lead that way. It might lead to, maybe to the the Grey Havens and on over that way. But yeah, this is it. Perhaps that's just closed off by the Longbeards to keep the people, to keep the dour hands of Sarner from coming up this way. I'll show you exactly where we are. The river's down there below us. Right over there, you see Noglond. So as you see him, we came up this way there. You almost always Hindraval on this little path that comes up. We just crossed the bridge. That's the bridge that we gathered all those thickets out from underneath. Just down from Noglond there. You could probably almost see Gondamon over that way. But yeah, that's where we are. Just to let y'all see a little corner of Middle-earth here that you hadn't seen before. And we are going to continue hunting the Hindraval. We're halfway through it, 2/3 of the way through it. We got 8. I see another one flapping his wings down there. So we are going to take them out. And once again, we'll see you whenever we get that magic number 12. We are taking out the last of the Hindraval here. We've had to do a bit of wandering around. Unfortunately, the birds here, the Hindraval, the wildcats, and the blue crags in this area all seem to be on the same spawn table. So you take out one group, and the next thing you know, it's been repopulated by members of the other 2 groups. So sometimes you have to kill them off. Fortunately, you can also just kind of leave an area. If you wander out of an area and wander back, sometimes, like right there, there was a Hindraval last time, and now it's a blue crag. Sometimes you can just leave an area and let everything unload, and when you come back, you'll find stuff has changed. That different members of the spawn table are now on the ground here. Okay, now we need to talk to, is it Kestel? Who is it? There we go. Ketil, the grocer. He was the one that gave us the Hindraval quest. Let's take a look at it right quick. Hindraval have grown to alarming numbers over the past year. Now the roads from Thorin's Hall all the way to Gondamon are unsafe. Gnarl'rynae, if you would lend your aid once more, patrol the roads north and south from Noglond and hunt down any Hindraval you may find. Recent travelers through outposts says they've seen large numbers of Hindraval across the river to our south. If you're looking for the source of the numbers, that's as likely as to be it as not. Okay, let's see if that takes care of it.
What do you want?
Or if we've got one more to go after, like a Queen Hindraval. Thank you for helping keep the ways clear. If it's not too much to ask, please don't tell anyone that I needed help. Okay, 5 maximum power and 3 will. Let's go with the wheel. There we go. And he did not give us anything else. All right. Now, I think everything else occurs in Gondamon. Let's take a look and see. Goblins in the south, which is take the fetish to Gondamon. On to Gondamon, which I think tells us we have to go to Gondamon. Now is found, take it to Langlis, who's at Thrasie's Lodge. All right, that's not quite Gondamon, but the third gear is in the Ancient Crypt, and that's kind of out of our way. And then the 2 prologues, which both take us to Gondamon. So there we go. Now it's off to Gondamon. Let's head on down that way. And I think we may travel there, and then I think we will call it an episode before we turn anything in. And we'll probably have a travel log entry there as well. And see how that goes. Ooh, what was that? Oh, I thought that was something weird over there. It's just a guy spawning in. Somebody. Boy, what level are y'all? Hold still. Level 49. Wonder what they were fighting that they were getting killed off. Maybe they were over there in Sarner. Having trouble with the things over there, perhaps. But that should spawn them closer, I would think. I wouldn't think that was the closest rally circle to Sarner, but anyway. Let's continue heading on down to the south and the east here. We should see the spires of Gondamon coming up just to our right there very shortly. But one thing I can tell you that has taught me, number one, whoever made the concrete slab that this house is built on did a damn fine job. I mean, this concrete here in the floor here is just mirror smooth. It is so smooth, in fact, that I nearly fell down several times whenever I was tearing the carpet up. My feet would get wet. I almost slipped on the concrete several times because it's just so slick, so smooth. So it's a really nice. They did a great job there. And the other thing is these dehumidifiers. I've been so impressed with it. It was sucking, the water out of the carpets and all. Sitting there sucking the water out of the air to help dry out the carpet so I could cut them apart and drag them out of the house. But I forget that here in Georgia, you just don't think about everything being so humid and all. Even here in January. I mean, yeah, we got a rainstorm out, but the last 3 days we didn't. And even after the carpet has been pulled up out of the house and gotten out, I mean, this dehumidifier has pulled another couple of gallons of water out of the air every single day. And I'm sitting here going, I've got games and books and all these board games and all these electronics about Gondamon. All these electronics about that this humidity can't be good for, especially during the summertime. So I was so impressed that when I took the rental unit back, the commercial unit, I bought a residential unit. And I've currently got it sitting here to help keep the humidity down. Right now I've got it using it to do the final drying out process here in my den. And all right, so done now. Good. But yeah, after that's done, I'm gonna take it and put it upstairs in my room I use as a library, where I keep all my books and games, board games and everything, and just run it a couple of times a week just to make sure the air in there stays nice and dry and all. I'm quite impressed. All right, here's Gondamon, the dwarven, I guess you could call it outpost or fortress or whatever it is. The second most impressive building in all of the area, after Thorin's Hall. So there you go. We'll do a travel log entry, which I will insert here. The fortress of Gondamon was once an elven fortress, abandoned when the elves of Ithelion abandoned their former refuge for Dualond. After Skorgrim Dourhand's treacherous assault, the dwarves rebuilt the stronghold to their liking. And now that the travelogue is over, we will sit and think about, I think, where we're going to do next. I've got to go and watch a football game here. My wife is a big Man City fan, and Barcelona, of course, but Man City. So we're going to go watch the game with her, and hopefully this will be uploading during that time. And then hopefully we'll get another episode of regular LOTRO up, now that we're not working on clearing out the watery mess all the time. So we will see you next time. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for coming along and listening to my ramblings, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.